A lot of people with dementia don't realise that they have it. They just think that losing track of time and not being able to find things is because of getting old rather than dementia. Often what happens is they become reclusive, they isolate themselves, their thoughts become non-integrated, they don't socialise with others, and they withdraw more and more into their shell. Now, dementia residents in dementia units need to understand that they have dementia, and they need to know that they are in a dementia unit, so that once that's explained, then they can start orientating to the problems that present themselves on a day-to-day basis. For example, direction orientation and finding their room. They need to be able to work out that they can find their room if the room is identified, if there's a name on the door large enough for them to read, and if they have some practice runs. That's one solution for direction orientation, being able to find their room, which is a big problem for people in dementia units. The second problem, a really big problem, of course, is remembering names. Hardly anyone remembers names of people in a dementia unit with no present memory. So the way that residents get around this, it's different for males and females. The males pretty quickly learn that the men tend to call nurses and carers the lovely ladies or love or dear, and the women tend to call the carers and nurses nursey or nurse. Pretty standard. So you're not having to remember others' names, and it makes it easy for staff. Occasionally residents will remember their good friend's name, their newfound friend, but generally most residents don't remember names unless they make a significant effort, and on occasions that can be done. Now, the other thing too, of course, is in a dementia unit, the benefit of being in a dementia unit is there's no stigma or prejudice towards the condition. It is accepted in the place that all the residents there have present memory loss and all the limitations that come with that. So that's accepted, and there's no stigma, no prejudice, no challenging from staff. Occasionally some relatives come in, overly challenging, but the regular relatives that come in understand how to be with dementia residents and are very good most of the time. It's just sometimes some relatives that come in that don't understand about present memory loss or dementia, and they come in and challenge mum and say, "Mum, can you remember me?" Haven't seen her, maybe they haven't seen you for 6 months, and all of a sudden you turn up unannounced and you're expecting her to remember you off the bat. Well, probably not. She'll remember you if you've been visiting regularly, and probably knows your name as well if you come every Saturday at 2 o'clock or whatever. But if you just turn up unannounced, she knows nothing about your arrival, then it can be like, oh, everything's fuzzy and, disorientating. So it's always best on arrival to announce who you are. "Mum, it's me, Matt. I've been away in Australia for 6 months, but I've come here for a week or two to see you, and it's lovely to see you." That's the beautiful greeting, eye contact all the way. Mum knows what's going on. She's orientated, she's settled, she knows you, and she doesn't have to sort of rack around in her brain who you are, where are you from, and, orientate and put you in the picture, so to speak. Now, living in a dementia unit as well, of course, all the cares are done, aren't they? Showering, dressing, laundry, cooking. So you don't have to worry about all of those things, which is a great help, because with present memory loss and all the risks of living alone, if you have been prior to coming to the unit, with cooking and showering and hot water and flooding and so many risks with present memory loss. So at least in the unit, you don't have to be concerned about that. So once a person understands they have dementia and they're in the unit, that's where they're going to be staying. They make friends, and this is their community. They can and do start to settle, but it needs to be explained to them all the way what is happening about the dementia journey, the dementia unit, why they're there, the risks, and with that and alongside that, and equally important, supporting the person in finding solutions to be able to manage. That really is the big thing. Because if the person can't find their room, they need to be supported with having an identifiable door, the name on the door, glasses so they can see, practice runs back and forth, and then they will be able to, chances are, most of the time, find their room with that support given. So that makes for a much more relaxed stay at the unit. So when you can find your room, you can go to the bathroom, you can lie down, you can set your own routine, you can just have your own lifestyle going on. Whereas if you can't find your room, you're just stuck in the lounge and subject to every 2-hour toileting, the nurse taking you back to the room. I mean, that's no life, is it? You've got no choice as to whether you want to go and lie down, when you want to go to the toilet. It may not be at the toileting round times that you want to go. You might want to go to the toilet at another time. So all those choices are taken away if you can't find your room. So that's just one example, but there's many other things. So as a relative, when you come into the unit, just sit down and see, what is it that is challenging your relative in the dementia unit, and is there any way that you can bring about a solution for them to be able to better manage? So all these topics and more I've written about at length in these 2 books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit, both on Amazon, ebooks doing well, and my website, pietavalentine.com. So the first part of the book is a novel about the dementia residents' day-to-day lives and how they manage and cope. And the second half, educationals on how relatives can help their family member going into a dementia unit, and all the positive practical techniques to be able to help. It needs to be positive to be able to keep up the energy and stamina to be able to support these people. So thank you for your looks and your likes and your support. I really appreciate it, and for your comments. Thank you.